Oh, my back's up against it. I've been aggroed out by wizards. Whoa, whoa. That guy there? Yeah. You're probably wondering how he ended up like this. It really looks like he's hit rock bottom. Well, you might not believe it, but that guy is me. I bet you're wondering how I got into this wacky situation. Walls, no life, wizards at the gates. Well, it all started with the release of M19. Hi, I'm Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi of the internet. I'm the Magic the Gathering content creating equivalent of calling for arcades in your opponent's end step and one-shotting your opponent from 18 life to dead. That is what they call in the Hearthstone community a one-turn kill, or OTK, but they don't have instants, so what the fuck do they even know? Wait, what? He's on the Pro Tour? This week we return to one of my most controversial decks, not because of the deck itself, but because of the memes involved. If you mention a dislike for Donald Trump on the internet, people start to get very, very upset. So this week I'm going to avoid Trump memes to avoid treating a load of white supremacists with no profile pictures and no followers on Twitter. They're probably just a load of Russian bots anyway. M19 brought us Arcade's The Strategist, and I have a soft spot for this big-bootied Elder Dragon. I actually play him on this week's Command Clash over on the MTG Goldfish channel, so if you want to see some fat-bottom girls smashing up an EDH game, be sure to check that out too. Speaking of Goldfish, Seth has also played Arcades in this week against the odds, although his combo finish took a different approach to mine. Ultimately, we have refined the messy approach I took to walls in my last wall video, which is linked in the description below if you haven't seen it already, or it's available in the cards up in the top corner of the screen. I originally ended up on a collected company deck looking to utilise the mana to win in a multitude of ways. I originally had Fenaxes to call for, Emrakuls, Walking Ballistas, close out the game, alongside things like Assault Formation. This time around, we're scrapping that and going with Arcades to help define and refine the deck. It helps push us into a focused direction of playing Bant colours and gives us a clear beatdown route to victory if we don't get the big mana engine online. Having 4 copies of Calling allows the deck to be relatively consistent in finding the piece of the puzzle is missing, whether that be Axebane Guardian for the big mana finish, Dustwatch Recruiter for the digging for the card advantage, or Arcades to enable our huge amount of power to ejaculate all over our opponent's face, or even our big mana win cons. The combo, for those of you who are not aware, that's built into this deck is Axebane Guardian plus one other wall in play plus 3 from the reel for infinite mana. The Overgrown Baron does a good impression, but with the inability to produce blue itself, it can't literally go infinite. Axebane on the other hand can generate at least 2 blue, untapping itself and tapping again for 2 more blue. And wham bam, thank you ma'am, you have unlimited mana. You can also make multiple colours as well, so you could even, Banefire people or secure the waste for 1 million or cost Black Sun Zenith if you're absolutely insane. Our sideboard feels a lot more focused and cohesive this time around too. Paths and Beasts Within if we need to interact, Stony for Tron, Affinity and Clan Shitfest, and Selfless Spirits for stopping control from pissing in our breakfast cereal. Rest in Peace is a hedge against all that graveyard shit, Storm to a lesser extent, Dredge, 5-colour Frights, Trash for Treasure decks, or even Electric Sex Pants Vindaloo. All the stars of the format. As always, this video is brought to you by the love and support of a wonderful community and some great sponsors. My biggest patrons are on screen now. These guys are helping to push towards devoting more and more time to this channel for myself and making these silly videos a reality. You can join us on the Discord server to hang out and chat shit by giving $2 a month, which in turn supports me financially more than 1,000 monetized views on YouTube, because ad revenue isn't very good. Of course, MTG Traders and Cake Fit Games help supply me with the cards I need and continue to be the best sponsor a budding young content creator with a very fine beard could ask for. You can support the channel by utilising the discount codes GGGetWrecked on their website. MTG Traders supply digital cards for MTGO, whilst Cake Fit Games are all about the physical card between your fingers. Discount code gives you 8% off your purchases and helps support the channel. Now, without further ado, let's see if Modern Walls can compete.
If you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding. How can you have any pudding if you don't eat your meat?
All in all, it's just another brick in the wall.
We keep a dog shit 7 because I have no idea how this deck will play out and I'm bad at Magic. A Shivan Reef into Sarah Vision suggests we will be dying to Storm on turn 3. Don't you just love Modern? Remember kids, next time you're effectively or literally dead on turn 3, repeat this phrase after me. Let's keep Stoneforge Mystic Band in Modern. We make our first wall. Another Serum Visions is followed by a build your own Wizarding Goblin guide. Is this blue-red wizards?
You're a wizard, Harry.
We draw a Wall of Omens but instead deploy our 3/5 Vigilant Flyer, which feels like a solid roadblock against the blue-red tempo deck. We hope he doesn't have Vapor Snag. Soulscar Mage allows Bolt to shrink our big deadly dragon to a more manageable size, and more importantly makes us reluctant to actually block with it and we go to 16 life. Also, just so you know, Soulscar Mage is a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry.
We draw a big mana dude and overgrown battlements. If we can get a Cord or Duskwatch Recruiter, this free from the real may combo well with overgrown battlements to win us the game. Wall of Omens draws us 2 cards thanks to not only its normal ETB but the extra text on Arcades, and we find the Emrakul. Our gameplay now is to set up a turn where we cast Ding Dong Rakul. The beautiful thing is, he'll never see it coming. Sylvan character gets carried away and slaps our opponent for 3. He untaps and casts a big old wizard flying boy.
You're a wizard, Harry.
He attacks in the air but can't attack into our walls on the ground or loses forces thanks to Arcades making our walls now do damage equal to their back end. Serum Visions allows him to get 1 more point of damage through thanks to the pseudo prowess. We untap, deploy the Freed from the Real, but we can't make enough mana to deploy Emrakul this turn. We attack for 7 instead. Another wizard.
You're a fucking wizard!
And then an attack in the air. We untap and draw 2 cards by casting a Wall of Omens. We then tap our Wall of Blossoms for 5 mana. He double Wizard Bolts Arcades to kill him for fear of us storming off and drawing our entire deck.
You're a wizard, Harry.
However, that's of course futile. It's Nintendo time. We untap the battlements, then tap it for 5 mana, untap it again and make another 5 mana. Then, out of nowhere, we cast Emrakul, trigger her, and line up for another turn after this one. We untap, play Arcades, and now he has seen enough, and he scoops. In game 2, we have a solid curve, a lot of mana, Arcades and a tutor. This might be one of our best hands possible. He casts a Serum Visions, we deploy a 1 mana 0/4. Hear me roar. Storm Chaser makes a solid turn 2 play to avoid our ground blockers. We take it on the chin from the wizard. You thought I was going to do the meme there, didn't you? You didn't. You did. I'm not. Yeah. Gotcha. We play Wall of Roots and pass back. He casts Visions into land drop into back-to-back Wizards Lightning to take us down to 8 life this turn. We might end up getting burnt out of this game here. But then we draw and play a Wall of Denial, also known as the Wall of No You Fucking Don't. He opts into another land drop but doesn't swing and passes back. We make a tap land drop and make an Axebane Guardian. He end step double bolts our face and we go to 1 life, which is 5p territory if I've seen it, kids. We are clenched, our arseholes are tight, we are dead to burn. Land drop from him, but no play. We cast Arcades, but have a Disdainful Stroke on the stack, which is a crying shame. He plays a second Storm Chaser Mage, but because of that captain over there, he can't kill us, as the trigger will hit the stack and gain us life prior to the combat damage being dealt. Got him. We end step out of fucking nowhere, cast a Call of Calling. His name... We cast 2 battlements, attack for a whole fucking bunch. We get to keep a Vigilant Blocker up and he has to block or die in one whole swing. He blocks our Wall of Oh No You Didn't and his mage dies. He survives on 5 life. He swings, we block and then crack in for 1,000,000 damage. GG, get brick walled. We move into 5 when our opponent plays a Lava Claw Reaches because he's a mad lad. Our hand isn't terrible as it curves into mana and cord. We make a Cathedral Membrane as our 1-drop. He plays a Dragon Cost Reducer carrying a big old plate of ham. I smell dragons ahead and perhaps the new M19 Sarkin. And for the record, I think that card is pretty terrible, so you can remind me of that in a couple months when it breaks a format with some sort of Dragon Storm combo deck. We play a Mana Wall on turn 2 and pass back the turn. Thunderbreak Regent hits the board. We miss a land drop, so deploy yet another Mana Wall. This allows us to curve into Arcades and potentially start beating face. He terminates our Wall of Root, which seems a tad loose. He attacks, we take it. This doesn't look great if we miss another land drop. We untap and accidentally combo kill him. Yeah, so we drew Freed from the Real. So we make 2 blue mana off of Axebane Guardian and cast Freed from the Real on it, keeping 1 blue in our pool. We use it to untap and tap again, adding a lot of blue. We keep doing this, adding mana of varying colours. We play an Arcades and cast Wall of Omens to draw 2 cards. We have the kill in hand with Walking Blister, but we decide that we can just go deeper. We call for Duskwatch and start churning through our deck. We play a wall, another wall, a wall, another wall, another wall, and our storm count is currently at 7, and our opponent concedes and scoops it up. He also doesn't want to play another game with us and quits the practice room entirely. A little bit rude, but whatever, I'll take the win.
We don't need no thought control.
Round 3 is a sketchy keep, but let's see how it goes. We make a turn 1 wall and our opponent makes a basic planes and passes. I kind of hope this is D&T because they might generally struggle to interact in a meaningful way with what we're doing here. We make a Carroted and we pass it back. Opponent does nothing, goes to clean up, discards a rather nice looking Ravnica themed planes, and concedes. Right. Practice rooms are interesting, shall we say, but I think we might need to take this to a league now that we are 3-0. I think we have played against enough pretty strong meta decks to make it cool that our deck is obviously good enough to play in a league. We've beaten blue-red wizards, we've beaten red-black dragons, and we also beat the other format all-star in mono-white dredge. Basic Island Go from our opponent. We have all the mana with this hand but no payoff. We're just hoping to draw a Dustwatch, Arcadian or Cord. Oh, it's Merfolk. Weirdly, as long as we don't get Spreading Seed and we avoid fetching islands, this matchup might be very, very good for us. All the fish are primarily on the ground. We deploy a mana tree. He plays a lore that he revealed earlier anyway and slapped us for a fishy throw damage. We draw Arcades, but I opt to gum up the ground where I can be playing 2 more walls. This also maximises the availability of mana next turn. He Echo and True Style 0 for us so we can get in. We are very happy with this as it provides a kind of tempo play where he can't deploy more threats to the board. We untap, cast Arcades, make a land drop, play the 1 drop that he bounced, then tap our wall for 3 mana. We use green and white, leaving white floating to cast Wall of Roots, which we then use in combination with the white mana to deploy Overgrown Battlements to dig deeper into our deck and go wider, ready to kill him. On his turn, he harbingers one of our big mana producers and then says fuck it and concedes anyway. Game 2, again a slow start with no 1 drop from our opponent. He leads into Silvergill, revealing Master of Waves. Weirdly, I'm not too scared of Master in this matchup. It's more the Lords giving Island Walk that might allow him to actually finish us off. I lead with the Curious Hit here in order to have the option to cast Wall of Denial next turn, when in reality Overgrown Battlements would have been much more explosive and given me 1 more mana next turn to cast more spells depending on what I drew. I think this was probably an incorrect piece of sequencing in all honesty, but hindsight's a beautiful thing. Kira Great Glass Spinner makes the path in our deck very bad. This piece within can still destroy whatever land has Spreading Seas on it if we get to that point, which allows us to surprise block and wreck him. We failed to draw a land, which means we're mildly punished for our missequencing last turn. We play a Wall of Roots and then resolve an Overgrown Battlements. He resolves Master and swings in the air with his jellyfish. I play a Wall of Roots and a Wall of Denial and a Dustwatch Recruiter, and we'll start to dig next turn for Arcades to finish this game off. He finally Spreading Seas on land and he plays the Island Walking Enabling Lord and he gets in for a free 6 points of damage. We draw a land and use Overgrown Battlements to make 6 mana to go looking through our library. We find both Overgrown Battlements on the first 3 and then we make 7 more mana but of varying band arrangements with Axebane Guardian. We take another look at our library and everyone's favourite Eldritch Space Monster is sat there waiting for us. Simply at this point we need to survive for 1 turn. Essentially we can surprise blow him out in combat as long as he doesn't draw a second Spreading Seas. He copies his lore with a Phantasmal Image, animates his Mutavault and gets into the red zone. Then once again we surprise him.
Surprise, motherfucker!
With a beast out of nowhere, blowing up our island. So whilst Merfolk is a relatively good matchup for this deck, if you can dodge or play around Spreading Seas with Rex Sage or Beast Within, showing that Wolves is obviously one of the premier big aggro decks in the format now that Arcades is here, there's another current flavour of the month that is a deck that we struggle with and out aggroes us hard. That deck is Spirits. Sure, I kept some clunky hands, but fucking hell, the deck just curves into aerial plot that is too fast for us to deal with if we don't have the nuts or don't have multiple walls with Denial we can play early. Also, a random flash freeze when he has stumbled on 2 lands against us and we're resolving our 4 mana enabler is enough to make a man do a little shit. Rip me. So now if I thought we were up against Storm again, but we wasn't doing much except cantripping all over the shop like some guy on LSD. We go for the turn 4 combo kill against this motherfucker and he flashes in Pestamite. Luckily I just tapped it for blue in response to the trigger. Untapped it, tapped it, 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 and then to get the idea really, I just kept doing that until I had 15 mana. His name? Ding Dong Recall. However, in Game 2 he appeared to transition back into Storm, perhaps through a transformational sideboard, and absolutely fucking destroyed me with 3 Electromancers. Whilst Game 3 he end-stepped the Pestamite on turn 3, and untapped, and went Ritual, Kiki Jiki motherfucking Mirror Breaker. Our opponent has gone deep, so very, very deep.
It's actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Final round.
Alright, one last bout. Can the deck beat the best aggro deck in the format? Our opponent leads Inkmoth Nexus into Signal Pest. Oh boy. We lead off with a Caryatid on our turn 2. Bolt Scourge into Signal Pest from our opponent. We slam a big old Elder Dragon to show him who is boss of the skies in this game. Darksteel Citadel, Mox Opal, and then a Khan. Oh boy, oh boy. He makes a big old, thick, chunky stud muffin of a golem. The kind of golem you'd take home to your mother and she'd wink at you from across the dinner table as she bites her lip. Imagine his cold, hard steel cock. We slam a Wall of Omens, draw 2 cards, and cast a Wall of Denial. No matter how big that golem gets, our Walls of Hell should give it a run for its money. We attack Khan with Arcades and he decides to let him die instead of chumping with a Scourge. I am unsure if this was wise here, but it does mean that if he plays another artifact, his golem can go toe to toe with the wall at present. A second Volt Scourge brings his golem to the right old thickness that is comparable to our own Wall of Fuck Off. We decide to send a message though and take that juicy golem shot on the chin. Yes, Daddy Khan, Father. I've been very naughty. We cast a captain and a collection of roots and he decides he isn't going to be able to win this and he scoops it up. That seems like a bit of a premature scoop, but whatever. A Walls but were perhaps a little too daunting for him. Post-board we're going to remove our big mana combo and just fill it up with removal and artifact hate. Come at me, bruh. Our opening hand is slow and has no hate, but has potential if he doesn't have too much of an explosive start, so I keep it. He leads Inkmoth Nexus into Drum, and we don't have a turn 1 play. He plays a Steel Overseer. Affinity hands usually need a certain number of things to get them good. Enablers like cheap artifacts and mana acceleration, then payoffs like Ravager, Master of Ethereum, Cranial Plate, or Steel Overseer. We deploy a Wall of Roots on turn 2, and we draw Rex Sage here, but we need to choose carefully on where we deploy it, as Affinity has a variety of haymakers that are different and better depending on which matchup they're in. In this case, I think Cranial Plate or Steel Overseer being the high priority kill targets in our deck. Our opponent plays a Ravager and a Cranial Plate on turn 3, which gives us a lot of options here. And whilst this is scary, it's potentially quite manageable because it hasn't got enough bodies to allow him to go wide and get around us. We need to think long and hard about what we do in this reclamation stage to make sure we make the right line. Or, alternatively, draw one of our 3 Stony Silencers, cast that and feel really fucking bad for our opponent. In the face of Stony, he evidently does not have a Nature's Claim in hand or similar answer, and instead decides to sacrifice all his activatable artifact to make his Ravager a considerably chunky monkey. This is good for us as Rexage can now prioritise his biggest thing if he doesn't play another body to transfer the counters to. He then plays another body which he can transfer the counters to. Yeah. We get attacked by an animated Inkmoth and a Ravager. We take it. Our walls are too valuable at this point in time to let them die. We draw a wall of...
Do you want some? I'll give it you.
But instead he opts to set up more mana next turn by playing a Wall of Omens and an Axebane Guardian. He plays a Master of Ethereum. And we chump block the Ravager with our Wall of Omens. We untap, cast Arcades, cast an Overgrown Battlement off of our Wall of Roots, draw a Path to Exile, make 4 mana with Axebane Guardian, play a Wall of Get the Fuck Out, and draw a Chord. We path this Ravager and the game is officially over. He has seen enough. GG Wall E. So I also lost to a few other things when testing this deck. I lost to Green Affinity and I lost to, I think it was Control. But the deck is a lot better than it was in the previous video. Arcades actually has some good stats on him in all fairness, regardless of his abilities without walls. Although obviously the inherent card advantage and enabling of an aggro finish is the real sweet to meet when it comes to Arcades. What is of note though is that playing him early allows you to draw into gas off your walls, whilst playing him later, perhaps off a Chord on the end step, allows you to just kill people out of nowhere. When your engine card is good both early and late, that feels pretty damn good and means the deck might actually have some legs. Ultimately, on a scale of Vince's decks and their competitiveness, I'd rate it slightly above Mono Red Tron in terms of how good the deck actually is, but of course that is nowhere near as good as Electric Sex Pants Vindaloo. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Don't forget to let me know what your thoughts on the deck, the memes and Noel Edmonds' beard are in the comment section below. Like, comment and subscribe, you little shits. I'm not doing this to be ignored. All interaction, all love, all sharing helps to support the channel, and it's a way for you to help support me even if you don't want to support financially. Smash that bell icon too, otherwise be cursed to have opponents called for Arcades end step and slap you up with Wall of Denials in combat. I've been PleasantKenobi, UK's #1 Magic the Gathering content creator, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Ta-ta for now.